Heaven's rain, Elijah's prayer 1 Kings 1:8. One prophet's prayer turned drought to downpour. For 3 long years, the land was parched and broken. The sky was brass, the earth was dust, every riverbed was a memory, every crop a failure. But one prophet, a man of fire and faith, held onto a promise. Elijah declared, "There is the sound of a heavy rain." He spoke of the flood while standing in a desert. He heard the storm before the first cloud appeared. This is the nature of prophetic faith. It calls forth things that are not as though they were. You don't need to see the evidence to believe the promise. You must believe the promise to see the evidence. Declare this: my ears are tuned to heaven's frequency. I hear the sound of my breakthrough. The drought in my life is ending now. While the world was fixated on the barren ground, Elijah was focused on the heavens. He didn't just wish for rain, he went to war for it. He climbed to the top of Mount Carmel, a place of spiritual contention and divine victory, and he bowed himself to the earth. He put his face between his knees, shutting out every distraction, every doubt, every sign of the present reality. This was not a casual request. This was a posture of total surrender and intense spiritual labor. He was travailing in prayer, pushing until the promise was birthed in the natural realm. Some blessings are waiting on the other side of your persistence. They are not released by passive hope, but by prevailing prayer. You have to be willing to climb your own Carmel and contend for what God has spoken over your life. Declare this: I will not be moved by what I see. I am postured for a downpour. My prayer is breaking open the heavens. Elijah sent his servant, saying, "Go up now, look toward the sea." The servant obeyed. He scanned the horizon, searching for any sign, any hint of change. He returned with a disappointing report. There is nothing. The sky was as clear and unforgiving as it had been for 1,000 days. Did Elijah waver? Did he question the word he had heard? No. He simply said, "Go again." 6 times the servant went. 6 times he came back with the same empty report. 6 times, the natural circumstances screamed that nothing was happening. This is often the most difficult phase of faith. The space between the promise and the manifestation, where all you have is the word God gave you. But true faith is not discouraged by delay. It understands that God's silence is not his absence. Persistence in the face of nothing is the very substance of faith. It's the spiritual pressure that forces the unseen into the seen. Declare this: delay is not denial. My faith will outlast the silence. I will keep looking until I see my promise. Then came the 7th time. The servant went one more time, his steps likely heavy with repetition and doubt. But this time, his voice carried a different tone when he returned. He said, "Behold, a little cloud like a man's hand is rising from the sea." It was so small, so seemingly insignificant. A lesser faith would have dismissed it, but Elijah knew. He knew that in God's economy, a man-sized cloud was big enough to birth a history-making storm. That tiny vapor was the first drop of a deluge. It was heaven's signature on the dotted line of the promise. The atmosphere of the entire nation began to shift because of one prophet's persistent prayer and one small, supernatural sign. The drought's dominion was shattered. The rain was not just coming, it was already here. Declare this: my small beginning carries a great downpour. My cloud is rising. My storm is gathering. This is my season of abundant rain. If this word lit a fire in your spirit, don't just scroll. Subscribe. Join the FireTongues family and keep your flame burning. Our Faith Warrior merch is waiting for you. Check the comments link below.